Okay, I think I've got all the bugs fixed. And yeah. Okay, let's try this one more time. See if we're actually live. Sweet, we are live. Okay, we are live on YouTube. Let's test out chat. Can't test it. Now let's go test out Twitch. Nice. Sweet. Okay, we are live on Twitch and YouTube for the first time ever at the same time. Okay, to get you guys up, we're working on Arma 4 prep. We're doing our Warlords, Road to Warlords 4. And down in the description, you should see a link to the blog. I haven't been updating it as often because I wasn't working on it much because I thought Arma 4 was right around the corner, but last week they announced Arma 4 was coming out in 2027, so we only got about 2 years to get this project going. If I want to have something ready to go like day one. So we're just jumping into conflict real quick to get everything compiled before we jump into workbench. Yeah, something I actually need to do, I actually need to play a lot more conflict because before I started modding Arma 3, I probably had 4,000 or 5,000 hours in the game, so like I understood the game itself really, really well. For Reforger here, I don't actually understand the base game quite as well. Because until I think the last patch or two, they've done a lot about the trolling and stuff, but that was like a huge turnoff for me because I like to play official servers. And like the trolling and team kicking and everything was just out of control. So for what we're going to be working on tonight, and if you go check out the dev blog, so we have 3 phases. Our first phase is crawl. We have a crawl, walk, run phase. And each of these phases, I figure is probably going to take anywhere from 6 to 12 months per phase, depending on how in depth I want to go with it. But we have a little bitty to-do list tonight, and this is mostly just a test stream to get me back in the flow of doing Enfusion development. And for now, we're working with the scenario framework, so we're in our CrawlSF phase, which is for scenario framework. And as I get more familiar or I hit any roadblocks, we're probably gonna remake each of them doing custom, doing everything ourselves and trying to script everything ourselves for each of these phases to see if we can get feature parity via scripting with scenario framework. If that makes any sense. So it's going to be a dual track. That's why the timelines are so long, because if you were just making a regular game mode, you could probably do it in working a couple hours a week, 4 to 6 months. But I'm going to be dual tracking, and as I hit roadblocks, I'm probably going to be swapping back and forth between scenario framework and a non-scenario framework. And improve my Enfusion scripting, just because it's going to be good to learn, and long term, writing all your own scripts is going to be the way to go, because eventually BI will drop support for scenario framework, or it won't be developed any further, and you're going to end up scripting everything yourself. So that's kind of the mindset going for there. Okay, let's see here. We got CrawlSF. Go. Generated all these. So I think I generated all these maybe a year ago. And some of them are pretty hilarious. Like this little guy here, the magazine on the weapon, it comes out and it just bends 90 degrees. It's pretty funny. But then it does other stuff really well, like a Colt 911. A little mod I made for somebody. But that was literally just using like a free Yeah, it's been a while since we've done this, so let's make this full screen. I think in one of the patches they added the ability to zoom. Not on this menu though. This is one of the biggest downsides of streaming and Workbench is can't zoom. I tried like about a year ago to like make little zoom chunks of the screen, but I kept forgetting to reset it. Where are we? Okay, here we go. Nice. Oh, this looks a lot different than I remember it looking. So essentially what we've done here, I'll walk you guys through some previous work and also to refresh myself here. This is this is the default layer right there, it looks like. And then I put some houses, just so these houses were mostly just to give me some landmarks. And this is like our little, this is an NP test world. These are to give me some like navigational landmarks. And our goal, we're gonna put, for this like tech demo, we're gonna put 6 sectors here. And the end goal is to have a character spawn, have one of these sectors selected randomly, and the character walks into the area and it marks it as complete, and then a new sector randomly pops and ad nauseum, and eventually there's going to be a little scoreboard, and as you walk into sectors, you know, you'll get some score, and that's kind of the game mode. Seems incredibly simple on the surface, but the details are kind of all the details and feature set, kind of where everything goes. Kind of sort of wild. Switch. Okay, and here's our spawn layer. Called it start. Have a button to. Wow, that is way too zoomed in. So I have a US spawn over here by the Humvee. I have a USSR spawn over here. Cool. And it looks like I have FAA spawn over here. Nice. Still kind of relearning the controls here. It's a bit wonky, but okay, so let's just play and see what happens and see what errors we're getting right off the bat here. Okay, so I joined the US Army, joined the fight. I am a game master, right? I have no clothes. Great. Wow, it looks like I'm dropping a couple frames too. I wonder if I have my encoding settings are too high or something. Let's go do a quick look here. Gotta go through. So this is my very first time using Restream, so probably need to. I didn't actually go through the settings very well. How do I see? So this Restream plugin for OBS is completely new to me here, so. What's going on? 101. Settings, here we go. It's also been a while since I used Twitch too, so. Coder preset balanced. Okay, so we may have to mess around with this a little bit more. If it's dropping frames at all, that's bad news. What I'll do for right now, I will lower the bitrate down just a little bit. Okay, so lower the bitrate, so hopefully it has a little bit less to encode until I... Oh no, I hit escape. Nope. So we're trying it again. Okay, cool. So it appears to be randomizing my loadout. If I remember right, I thought it was supposed to be randomizing my team I was on too. I think that was why I put the extra teams on there, but we'll start this up a couple times, see what's happening. Okay, clear. Yeah. Objective complete. Sweet. Yeah, well, that went pretty well. So let's do Control Escape. Nope. Shift Escape. Alt Escape. There's a way I can get to the escape menu. We'll have to play around with it. Start it up one more time, see if we get something other than the US Army. Nope. Still doing US Army. Oh yeah, well, we'll play around with that later. So let's see here. Something I wanted to add. Let's go. So I wanted to set up a briefing screen and but I do not remember how to set up a briefing screen. Okay, deploy menu base screen component. Yeah, this is probably what we're looking for. Second, I want to pull up my system resources here. I feel like I may be nuking my nope. CPU is at 15%. But deploy menu, I think this is what we want. Maybe not. So our task manager has a whole bunch of subcomponents on it. It's probably good. Oh, cool. You can set like custom text for oh, right on. That is actually really... We could do some cool stuff with this. And I remember the hashtag AR just means it's a script table, or yeah, it's a localization thing. So if we were going to do that, we would just add something new in and then change the description call real quick. Okay, so we can modify the UI of the task manager as well. It's nice. And then it's RPO'd out to the server. Cool. So I'm thinking it must be game mode is where we need to add. Here we go. So respawn system component. So auto spawn logic, we need to look this up. I vaguely remember reading something about this. I don't even know how to Google. Okay, cool. Got to the BI wiki, so we're gonna go to modding. And it's under respawn somewhere, but and the way they have the wiki set up is just so rough to look through. Okay, found it. So it's under Arma Reforger modding tutorials. Then it's under scenario, and you go to respawn setup. So I'll pull this over so you guys can see this as well. Do dark mode. Here we go. We can see. Wonder if chat. I want to test something here real quick on. Go to channel, live. I can talk now. Live chat. Oh, so it seems that I'm not connected to hang on, I have a lot to learn about this. Oh, so it seems that I'm not connected to oh. Pause that. Oh, here we go. I think I got it figured out. Oh, here we go. Cool. Now let's go test Twitch real quick. There we go, I got them both working. Yay. So I think I might be streaming to might be why my computer's chugging so bad right now. I think I'm actually running 2 streams at the same time here. It's good to know that my computer can handle 2 streams at once. It's kind of cool. Okay, but let's get back to So the first thing we got to do is make sure our game mode logic respawn component has a spawn logic set under respawn system. So let's go do that. So we have respawn system component, and we have a spawn logic. Yes, we have a spawn logic. So you can override spawn logic to define your own custom respawn behavior. Right now, there are 2 spawn logic objects defined: auto logic. Yep, that's what we have, I think. Yes, we're using auto spawn logic. And menu spawn logic. I think this is what we actually want to do, so we can pick which side we want to use. So the respawn component has multiple spawn handle components as its children. This signifies what type of respawns are possible with the game mode when it's attached. So we currently have a free spawn component, which I have disabled, and a possess spawn handler component. Okay. And then the deploy menu got an overhaul, but where do these deploy menus go from? All inheriting from deploy menu base. Okay. Okay, player deploy menu handle components. Okay, so player deploy menu handle component. I think this is what we need. Okay, so let's see if we can find this. Player spawn points. What are we looking for? Player deploy. Player deploy. Okay, so we now have a player deploy menu handle component. So let's save this and start the game up and see what happens. Oh, we joined Soviets that time. Cool. See if the Soviets still work at this little point. I need to make these little area sectors a little bit bigger and more visible, I think. I can like see over the house. Just kind of like making sure, since we're just like so new to this, I want to make sure like everything I do, the whole mission is still working afterwards. So I should get a little message. Ah, see, I'm glad I tested this. So it appears when you came in here as a US guy, you got the little message above your head saying area complete, but not with this one. Okay, so that'll be something we need to work on in the future, but for right now we're just trying to get a menu to display. So we added the SER deploy menu handle component. Let's check out the welcome screen menu. See if it's in here at all. Welcome screen. Oh, let's add that. I have no idea if this stuff is actually base layout. Okay, let's save that. See what that did. Feel like this is probably gonna be the best way to learn. Just add things one at a time and restart the menu. Okay. We'll actually have a outfit this time. So deploy menu. Okay, it looks like we may actually have this player deploy menu. Deploy menu main. Kind of want to like go break something. So let's swap the auto spawn logic for the menu spawn logic real quick. Can't really do much until I start getting some errors here. Spawn logic. Respawn component. Okay, respawn component. So we have a respawn briefing component. That's good. This here. So we're going to swap out our spawn logic here for, what is it? Menu spawn logic, okay. Here we go, menu spawn logic, and we're going to drag and drop this right over the little circle there. And supposed to swap that out. Wait, this is a script, not a config. I need a... So we need to find a config. So configs are meant to be dropped here. Wait, delete the... Okay, so I disabled the auto spawn logic. Let's see what happens here. Should throw an error or just leave me out in the ocean. Yeah, that's what it's going to do. It's just going to leave me in the ocean. Because it doesn't see any way to actually spawn my character. But I don't want the auto spawn logic here, so... There we go, we're under configs, looking for spawns. So we're looking for configs respawn. There we go. Kind of stuck here. I don't see how I'm supposed to. So there is a way I'm supposed to be able to swap this auto spawn logic. Okay, I think I see what's going on here. So I need to overwrite this str spawn logic. Yeah, the problem is these are all scripts. These are not components. Well, this may end up being kind of a short stream if I can't figure out how to get a menu up. That was kind of my goal. It was like you log in, you get to pick a menu. So if this was a prefab, this would be what I would be overwriting to, and then create a little config and plop it in here. So let's add, we need a set up briefing screen. I was working on this before and I got to a point where I was getting an error because I needed a map entity. But I've now like completely forgot how I do that. So let's do a little test here. So we have 3 scripts underneath the respawn component. So I have free handle, process spawn handle component, and spawn point handle component. So we're going to try free spawn handle component. We're going to see what this does here. So we're going to click here. We're going to enable that. Going to do a quick save. Okay, so we're sitting out in the ocean and see if we get any errors. Don't have any timestamp on these log consoles. Okay, so spawn entity prefab, got scenario framework. Spawned a player controller. And spawned corbels. Generated the world. Okay, game mode does not support this method of spawning, right? So we have a place to start here. So game mode does not support this method of spawning. So let's roll back. So let's roll that back to a known good, and let's see what an actual good spawn scenario looks like here. So this will give me like a baseline of logs to start looking at. Oh, nice. Join me as FIA. See if they can complete the task. And as soon as I see if FIA can complete this little task, just for some background information. Hey. Actually getting kind of hyped being back here in Enfusion. This is going to be a pretty awesome game engine. The learning curve is obviously a lot more steep than it was for Arma 3. And it looks like, yeah, he cannot complete either. So while I'm thinking about it, let's add that to our to-do list. Basically adding a bug report here. USSR and FIA don't count towards clear sector task. Yep, just a little note to remind myself next time we're streaming, if I ever get down that far of the list. Okay, so we know what a good spawn looks like, so let's try to figure out where I was at here. Oh, it looks like these clear out every time you load. Oh, and you do get a timestamp. It's just not very clear. And it's in UTC. Yeah, that's clearly not right. It's telling me the game version. So basically what you need to do, like for Arma 3, you eventually learn, if you just look at logs long enough, you learned all the junk that's just the world loading. And then you get down to the point and you can quickly like identify. So this is probably going to be one of our things here, the network section here, updating players. So once I see Corbell's here, I know I'm probably at the point where the world loaded. Okay, so we can see here, I didn't get any of those. That spawn type thing is not selected. Okay, and then I can see scenario framework loading right here. Available tasks are empty. And slot 1 area clear, generating task area clear. Okay, cool. So I can see the framework started up. Right, so that's what a good load looks like. You see network, Corbell's connecting, and in the scripts we see the scenario frameworks loaded. So between those two, if we get a bad spawn situation, we'll see all those spawn errors. So now let's fiddle around with this and see what happens. So we're going to change spawn point handle to respawn handle. Save that. Okay, and what we expect now is when we go back into the logs that we're going to see no spawn point defined. Assuming I can even get out of this. There we go. Okay, so now if we go back and look at our logs, we should see, there we go. Okay, so we see our network, Corbels, scenario framework initialized, and then this is our errors section. So game mode does not support this method of spawning. So we might have to look at the game mode. Okay, so let's go look at game modes, since that is about the only point I could see here. So all these are children components of the game mode, but it's telling me game mode. Oh. Okay. Okay, so as of right now, we're hovering over auto player respawn. And the tooltip reads, if true, then simple default logic is used to spawn and respawn automatically. When false, the game mode needs to handle its very own spawning. Alright? That's what we actually want. So let's go to respawn component system. Smokes, how do you unzoom this? Respawn component should be attached to a game mode to handle player spawning and respawning. Yup. Okay, nothing really cosmic there. And it looks like our last stream we were looking at the spawn point handle component. Yeah, and we're not going to be modifying any of these right now, but really need to figure out how to unzoom this. Or you know what, we just make it bigger. Same thing. Okay, so this is kind of the same documentation. Requires spawn point respawn component attached to player controller. And I think what it says attached to player controller just means like it needs to be in the game mode. So okay, here's where we're failing right here because we're not getting a spawn point. Or the game mode doesn't support a spawn point. Player spawn point manager. Let's go look up that. Ah, here we go. We have a spawn point config. So let's go drop that. So here's a spawn point. So right now we're looking at spawn point request results in config. I thought this might be a but it looks like this is just a information config, not an actual. Yeah, it looks like this is not what we really need. This is really what I want to change right here is this spawn logic, but I cannot figure out how to delete this. Wonder if I just completely removed this component. Oh, looks like by default all of these are on. Let's see what happens. So what I did there, I right-clicked and I clicked restore to default. See if we can try to understand what's going on here. Okay, cool. So we spawned like normal there. I wonder if those interact in a like beneficial way with each other. I still don't have a welcome screen. So let's go jump back and check the logs real quick. Okay, got our network, got our scripts. Got a couple errors on our inventory, but not something we're going to worry about right now. Okay, that looks good. So let's go back to this is the spot right here where we're getting messed up. I wonder if this is because I used the automatic game mode setup. So I want to swap auto spawn with menu spawn logic. But I think this has to be a config in order for me to swap them out. Oh, it is a config. Dude, we were literally searching for this earlier. Or not. Why did that not open up in the... So when I click this link, what should happen is... it pops up the Hmm. Because I really need this auto spawn logic to go away. Oh yeah, let's try create. I completely forgot about this menu. Might be able to... Nope. Yeah, I think this is for creating entities, not components and configs. So yeah, we may have to go do a bunch more research on the spawning system for next week. And this is kind of part of the reason why I like when I say it's going to take me a couple years to get all this working. It's because every time I hit a roadblock, I kind of sort of have to just stop. And if I'm only streaming once or twice a week for a couple hours each time, right now we're set of briefing screens. We've been on this entire night. Not necessarily making much progress here. I'm learning a lot about the there's a key piece of information I'm missing somewhere here. That will trigger the welcome screen. So we have welcome screen menu. Player deploy menu. Deploy menu. Let's try to toss in a component deployment menu base. Oh, we might have made some progress. Okay, so that's deploy menu base screen component. Save and see what happens. Nothing so far. Yeah, I think what may be messing us up here is the fact that I did this with the auto configuration, so because in theory this should be blank and I should be able to find a logic and just plop this down on top of it, but it is not letting me edit that at all. Player deploy menu handle components. Right? Like right now I'm just tossing all these in. Okay, we know we got the welcome screen menu, I think. Okay, so we got the welcome screen component. Role selection. Okay, we do not have that. We're adding all the components in. Oh, that does not seem to be a yeah, this does not seem to be a prefab anymore. So let's just try menu, see what there is under menu. Okay, I already have a deploy menu base screen. Okay. And it appears to be set up correctly to my deploy menu base screen. Okay, I now have multiple of those, don't need that. Yeah, we may have to play around with this respawn a little bit more, and so I may set up off stream. I may like read through the wiki a little bit more and see if I can set up my own game mode with like a welcome screen. Or I'll do some research in the Discord, see if I can figure out how to make a actual welcome screen work correctly. Because this wiki page did us all jack good, because this part right here, we're stuck right there because we can't swap out. We can't even find this menu spawn logic. So we're going to really focus on this menu spawn logic. Let me add this to our menu list. Menus SCR, because I think that's where everything's breaking down here, is our and it's probably something super easy that I'm missing just because I'm new to Enfusion. But I will do a bunch of research on this, and I'll plan on being around the same time next week. And we'll probably stream for a little bit longer if we don't get stuck again. But that's kind of got to be the play for all this. Like, stream and actually work on things for an hour or two, and then off stream I'll do a bunch of research and try to do some testing so during stream I could be a little more productive. But I will see you guys next week in Friday morning EU time. I'll be doing some more Arma 3 work. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of debugging, as we just did a mass delete of a ton of files in a Warlords mission, and we're going through and debugging things like one error at a time. Should be a lot of fun for me. I don't know if it'll like be super fun for you guys, but it's good learning. It keeps you engaged. So cool. I will see you guys next week, hopefully with a lot more knowledge. And if long as I keep doing this every single week, 1 or 2 nights a week, and our plan is once we get done with the current like Arma 3 Warlords project, we've massively pared the scope down so we can finish it hopefully in a month or 2. Get it in a good working state. Okay, maybe 3 or 4 months, but once we get that done, we can start streaming Warlords Warlords 4 prep like 2 nights a week, which speed us up a bunch. So